Why does poverty exist? We're going to explore that today on Let's Play Ultima 4. Today I am going to wander over to Minoc, which is to the northeast of Britannia. I'm going to go overland just to point out a couple of things along the way. If I'd wanted to, the moon gate coming from you is actually right up here to the northwest of town, somewhere. There it is. It would show up in here at the Gibbos waxing. There it is. And I could take that back to Britain, and then from there to Minoc on the new moon. And that would probably be a faster way of doing it, but that's not what I'm going to do right now. So basically, to get out of the deep forest where you is, you need to dodge several rivers here. I think I need to be on the south side of that one. Which, of course, is where my orc friend is. And that puts us in this open area up here that I think the map calls the High Steppes or something. The mountain range you see down here, that's the Serpent Spine. If you go more or less straight south from this point, you'll go through a pass through that'll take you back to where Castle Britannia is. It's kind of slow to get through all those mountains, though, so I'm not going to do that. And then over here, those trees there have a river in the middle of them. There's nothing in there except swampland, but down here, this lake is Loch Lake. I believe we were told previously that there is a town somewhere around Loch Lake that we're supposed to meet someone or other at. But we can't actually do that for right now. Although I guess technically we could using magic, but I'm not going to do that for right now. So to get over to the eastern area of Britannia there, where Minoc is, there's a mountain pass. Where is it? Right in here. I'm gonna kill this orc real quick. Yeah, right here, south of that little inlet of water there. This is the only way through the mountains here. Well, no, you can go south as well, I think, and it takes you to about the same place. Actually, I'm wrong. This doesn't go through. Come on. This way down here, around this eastern thing feeding into Loch Lake, is the only way to get through the mountains to the east. And since I haven't pointed it out yet, I'll just show what the mountainous terrain looks like here. It's a little more of a pain to deal with than just grassland, because the mountains get in the way, and you have to kind of let the enemies funnel through that. You would think terrain like that would be tactically interesting with choke points to exploit and things like that, but it's really not. Alright, eliminated both of those. 2 chests here. Happily I evaded that poison. So, once you get through there, it's just more or less straight north to Minoc. I would not, as a general rule, recommend taking that route. Finding the right way through the mountains is just a pain. Take the moon gate. One other thing to point out up here. Where is it? There it is. This one little suspicious-looking tile of swamp. If you check the map, this area south of Minoc here in the east is what's called the Bloody Plains, and we were told that the Bloody Plains is one of the locations where you can find Mandrake Root. That is indeed the spot where the root is. However, if I just step in there, and get poisoned, of course, and search, there's nothing there. It's gonna get that ready. What you actually have to do is wait for the moons to both be in the new moon phase. Which will happen in just a moment here. And now, not quite. There's some, but you will note if I search twice, even while the moons are dark, I don't find another thing. That is because harvesting is on another timer. I believe it is in fact the same timer for giving to beggars and things. But having harvested there, you get a random number of mandrake roots, and you are supposed to not be able to do it for another 10 actions. Anyway, with that done, I'm just going to go straight on up to Minoc, which is on the other side of this river, I think. Some more swamp to do your best to avoid here, but you don't actually need to walk through it to get here. Happily. Even with the horse, I still seem to be pretty slow coming through the mountains, so I'm not sure how much it actually helps. Come on. Almost there. Come on. Thank you. There it is. Let's see what's in here. One moment. So, tell me about this town. This is a guard in good health, like all the others who guards. And is pensive about whether or not he'll have to give his life. I suppose that's something that people who guard have to be concerned about, so sure. Yeah. But there's really no way you can know that until you are actually in that situation. The President's thoughts on the matters notwithstanding. And here's a tinker named Shentis, in okay health, who welcomes us. I am not entirely sure where they get the idea that tinkers, people who craft things, are associated with the virtue of sacrifice. I don't know. This whole idea of people who are the most productive also being the ones who best understand sacrifice would definitely make Ayn Rand very sad. Yeah, striving for virtue is pretty much the whole point of the game, as is that, so I'll do my best. I believe that's all he says. All the guards in Minoc have the same script, so I'm not going to worry about that. There's a tinker down here who wanders. This is Merida. I don't know. Who is searching for the shrine. I'll probably need that eventually, but... I don't know the mantra yet, no? Okay, well that's where the shrine is, for what it's worth. Do I need to talk to him again after I find the mantra? I forget. No, he doesn't say anything interesting if you come back when you know the mantra, so that's fine. Who am I looking for? There's a shepherd down here who doesn't want to talk to me. He is Damon, and he stands here and thinks. About things. No, everyone in this town exists entirely to help me on my quest, so... Oh, okay, I'll leave you alone then. Let's see, I can come down here. Here is a bard named Sing Song, who is doing very well and sings. What does she sing? Okay. I suppose that's a good song. The raven sings, the raven saw, and in the corn he saith ca. I don't know. Sure, that's fine. She doesn't even use the bard sprite. Interesting. Oh wait, yeah, she does. That stabby one is the actual bard party member sprite, not the actively singing bard sprite that you see minstrels using, but whatever. This is just a weapon shop. I don't need it. I'm mage. And this person seems to have wandered into their own forge. I think that's taking self-sacrifice a little bit too seriously. Can we talk to you one day? Or are we just gonna stand in there being masochistic? Thank you. He is seasoned. I hope he's pretty well seasoned if he's cooking like that. He forges weapons, obviously. I'd love to have something better than a sling, but I don't think you have anything I can use. That's all he has to say. Let me see, what am I missing here? Up here, there's a lot of swamp. Let's see if I can avoid it. Is this Merida who I already talked to? Oh, now she's... or he is standing in the swamp. Whatever. Okay, here's a ragged man named Alkirian, who is old and weak, and is a peasant. I don't have anything specific to ask you. Tell me about sacrifice. He doesn't know about sacrifice. Here is a tinker named Julia, who cares for the poor. Okay. You can't see the sign right now, but this is the poorhouse. But I suppose I'll help. That's one of the things I'm supposed to be doing. And she would indeed join you if you asked her. But, again, I'm not doing that right now. I'd rather have my food. What else does she say? She also responds to the keyword care, which I suppose is a good way of looking at it, that self-sacrifice is inherently unnatural and that part of the point of virtue is to transcend nature. Such as it is, but in any case, that's all she would say for right now. Here's another ragged person named Jude. Not in very good health and wants to redeem himself. But he's not going to tell us what he did. Can we give him stuff? No, because he does not have the beggar sprite, I think we can't actually do anything to help him. This person, however, is a beggar. This is Bob the beggar, who is very sick. Sure. Done. Now remember, you need to wait a few turns until you can get virtue for giving to a beggar again. It just happened to trigger right then, so let's do it again here. This person is also sad, but doesn't want to talk to me. Not sure why they implement this thing where people turn away. Does this person say anything else? His other thing is that he will sleep forever, which is fair, so... Oh, and someone named Azir knows of the rune, that's right. He tells me that. But he doesn't want my money. I am assuming they give him such a high chance of turning away to simulate the fact that he's passing in and out of consciousness. Here's a girl named Linda Sue who is hungry. Same as all the other beggars in here. But I don't think we can give to her because she's not a beggar sprite. What else does she say? Okay, all she does is you ask her about hungry. But even though she says that, there's no way to actually give her food. So I guess that's everyone in the poorhouse. I'm gonna verify I talked to that person, yes. There's no one else over here, right? Who else am I looking for? There is an inn up here. Is there someone behind the inn? Can't get back that way. Can I get behind the inn at all? I don't think I can. Okay. There was a kid over here. Is that one of the beggars? No, this is a different kid. This is Alex, who is doing fine. And he gives out flowers. How nice. Is he actually the last sign of the ancients? Or is that something else? I suppose that's true. But that's not exactly how sacrifice works. The idea of sacrifice is that you're kind to others even when they have nothing to give you and it's inconvenient to you. Sure. What he's alluding to a little bit, though, is that, from what I've read, if you give all of your gold, that is, afterwards you have 0 gold remaining to a beggar, in addition to being compassionate, you will also be sacrificial in that situation. However, there are other ways to demonstrate your ability to sacrifice, and it's really inconvenient to try to plan your gold so you actually give it all up like that. Which, again, is kind of the point, I suppose, but I have plans for my gold. I actually do have something I'm saving for. Here's a ranger named Mike Ward. No idea if that's a real-world reference. This person has come from Skara Bray, where the rune is missing. Guess that's no reason for me to go there then, huh? I think I say no, and he says it's not in Skara Bray. Well, good to know. We'll have to look around for that then. Here's a tinker at the table. There's not a table there, but This is Azure. We were told that someone by this name knows about the rune. And this person, in fact, carves runes. It would be a good idea to have, yes. This does bring up another point, though. It's never really explained how this whole system of runes opening the way into shrines with mantras and everything was set up, who planned all this out, who made these runes and hid them everywhere. One can only assume that it's something that Lord British set up for the purpose of testing people, but for that matter, how the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom got into a ridiculously hard-to-find dungeon or whatever. On that point, we will learn a little more much later in the series, but for right now, we don't know. But yes, I am looking for a rune. I am assuming that you know about the Rune of Sacrifice. And we have to go find his sister Mischief. How about that Rune of Spirituality that I hear is missing? He doesn't know about that one. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in the inn rooms over here. Know that Mischief is this person down here. Yep, that's her. She's happy, but she only guesses she's okay. That's fine. She does this and that. And that. Seems sketchy. Tell me about the rune. It's in the forge. Of course it is. But she wants me to come back once I have it, so we'll see about that. Alright. I guess there was a reason why Zircon was wandering around in his own forge there. So I think it's in the far corner. Fire fields, of course, do damage every time you take a step in them. They also have a chance of blocking you. There's the rune, in the far corner. Don't you dare block me in here, Zircon. Can we move, please? Okay, that could have gone a lot worse than it did. Yay, we have the Rune of Sacrifice. How is our XP looking, by the way? Not quite enough for level 5. I believe that's at 800. I think. I'll have to check that. So, now that we got that rune, what else will Mischief tell us? She doesn't actually care whether you've actually gone and gotten it. You won't lose points for lying or anything if you tell her yes, even before you get it. But for the sake of role-playing, Alkirian knows about the stone. He was back in the poorhouse. This one. Tell me about the stone. Okay, it is orange, and it is used in the altar rooms of love and courage. Thank you. I'll remember that for later. I can't give stuff to you either. So I still need to know the mantra, and the person who gives me the clue for that seems to be absent. Who am I looking for that? Oh, okay, Merida is the person. I just missed the keyword. Okay. Sorry about that. Now I just need to find Merida back. I'm just gonna leave the town and start over. Okay, this is Merida right here, right? If he'll stand still. Yes. How is his conversation supposed to go? You ask him about his job. I think previously I asked him about sacrifice and he said something, but you're supposed to ask him about the shrine. But he needs the mantra. I don't know it yet. You then ask him about the mantra. And he is told that a hidden shepherd knows the mantra. As you might imagine, that is this person down here who had nothing to say previously. He just wants to sit and think, so let's be quick about it. Tell me the mantra. Jerk. And what he finally tells us is that the mantra of sacrifice is in the Bard's Song. Well, the only bard in town is this person over here who sings at us. This one, about the raven singing. What the raven sings is Ka with an H, and that is indeed the mantra of sacrifice, which is the last thing we need to know here. So, thank you for finally telling me that. And that is everything we can do in Minoc at this time. So, I'm just gonna wander on somewhere else in the next session. Thank you for watching, and good night. The raven sees the raven song.
Yes, he saw.
And in the corn,
He
saith, Ka. That's the mantra of sacrifice.
Yep.